everyone, I'm JD from Willowbound Journals, and today I am going to be making a whole bunch of tags. And I thought while I'm making them, I would share everything about tags, how I make them, how I store them, how you use them, how you put them into journals, all that kind of thing, how to decorate them. And yeah, the reason why I'm doing this is because I have got 12 vintage French journals almost ready to go. I just need to finish filling them with all the ephemera, and I want to have a lot of tags for them. And since there's 12 journals, I need to mass make or bulk make lots and lots of vintage French tags. So here's an example of some that I've already made. So some with some beautiful vintage French script, and some with vintage French book page, and this is from a vintage French dictionary. And I love just sewing around. This one I've used zigzag, this one kind of, I call it the heartbeat stitch, and this one with the straight stitch. And yeah, it's not enough. This is not enough tags for my vintage French journals. So today, before I put the camera on, I made a whole bunch more ready to go. So I'm sort of showing you my process at different stages in the process. So I've got to cut out all of these. This is just some other ones here that I had, and I'll talk about those later on. But let me show you how I store my tags. I love showing this. This is my basket of tags. I think I need a bigger basket. So here's my pre-cut ones. This is sort of showing a different stage of the process. So I've got some large, tall ones there, some shorter ones, getting down to different sizes, wider ones, narrower ones. I have some unprepared ones here, so some vintage music paper ones. These are ones that I have made for the vintage French journals, but I just need to do the sewing. So I made these ones last night, out of vintage French invoices. Look at that script, isn't that beautiful? I made these ones out of a collage masterboard. I do have a tutorial showing how I make tags out of collage masterboards as well, but I'll talk through that process today. And then yeah, here's just a look at all my sort of different tags. The vintage French ones are at the front. Then I sort of have them organized by different types. So here's some butterfly ones, and then we've got some napkin ones. There's so many different ways to make tags and decorate them. There's some floral ones. There's some with the music paper background. I also have a few journal cards as well in here. So these ones are made exactly the same way. It's just you don't have the little triangles cut out there. Then I've got pocket ones here. I've got piano paper ones. I've got pocket ones here where you have a pocket. I have got wallpaper ones, all different types of wallpaper. Those are some of my favorite. I hoard my wallpaper ones. They're so pretty. So that's how I kind of store them by tag type. And now I'm going to be, it's chockers. I've got to add all these to it as well. But let me show you how I also add them to the journal. So this is sort of the finished idea. People ask me, how do you add them to your journals? Well, I like to put them into pockets. So here's one of my tags, and it just slips into this pocket. The other way I like to attach them to my pages is with paper clips. So here we go, here's a tag here. And then the next question I have from people is, how do you use them? Well, they're just like a journal card. Like I said before, they're just like a journal card, just they have these notches out of it. How do you use a journal card? To journal on. So the same thing with a tag. You journal on it. Now, some people like to just have it as decoration. So if you just want to use it for decoration, something to add pretty to your page, definitely. Some people decorate theirs double-sided because they don't necessarily want to journal on it. They're just wanting to have it there purely for that beautiful decoration. But me, I like having things in my journals that aren't just decorative, but also functional and useful. So for example, this tag, I love the collage on the front, but then on the back, I leave my backs plain so that I can journal on them. What would I journal? Stuff like In the past, I've journaled lovely notes that people have left me, lovely messages that people have left me, so I can delete the message or delete the email, but I still have it recorded in my journal. Or I might record what I did that day, or I might record a favorite quote or a favorite scripture. I might write, depending on the size of the tag, I might write the scripture at the top and then write some thoughts on how it's speaking to me. If it was for a prayer journal, for example, you can write anything. Sky's the limit in terms of what things you can journal. It's just a way to create interesting, beautiful, decorative journaling space in your journals. So this is another stage of the process. I use manila folder for my bases. So manila folder is just a nice thickness. It's not too thick. I don't like cardboard thickness or really thick card, but I don't want something flimsy like just paper. So manila folder I find really lovely. This is kind of a look at how I make my templates to cut out. So for example, when I made all of these today, I made like 6, 8, 10 sheets of this, and I've traced them all first. I do everything in bulk in my process. So I traced out 10 sheets of manila folder with different tags. Once I had my 10 sheets, I then went ahead and cut them all out. And then once I cut them out, I attached them to whatever I want to attach them to. So in this case, vintage French book pages, but it could be music paper, it could be piano paper, it could be any type of paper, it could be wallpaper, scrapbook paper that you want to decorate the tag with. So mine, I'm just creating some basic tag bases that I will then, decorate afterwards. And I keep my decorations pretty simple. I tend to use just a simple flower sticker. These are my favorite. I get these from Stationery Pal, and there is a link down below in the description box to Stationery Pal, along with a discount code. I got these from Stationery Pal, and I got these flowers from Stationery Pal. Slightly different one. This is really lovely too, but these ones are my favorite. Also from Stationery Pal are these pieces, and I love making tags just by sticking these onto a tag as well. So you saw some butterfly ones that I had already made up. I also like making ones with flowers, so those can be a focal point. Me, I like keeping it simple. I just chuck that on the front, done. Other times I will collage it on, like add a label, maybe add a little postage stamp, add some other little stickers. So you can definitely add as much as you want to your tags, but I do like simple tags. So let me then get on to the basic way of how I make it. So I have a manila folder. Here it is. And then I just cut it in half, first of all. And then I get questions about this all the time. How do I trace my templates? I started off with store-bought ones. So I believe these were gifted to me years and years ago when I first got into making junk journals. Maybe it's a Tim Holtz tag, I'm not too sure, but I started with these. But from there, I then make my own tag sizes. So for example, instead of tracing it all the way around, I'll cut it off here because I feel like that's a bit too long, that tag. So let me just show you. I might be like, yep, that's a good size. And so I will make my own custom size tag using that template. And I could do that this long, this short, however. Same with this one. If I want a wider tag, I'll use this one. But if I don't want it that long, I'll just cut it off wherever I want, however short I want the tag. And then once I have these new templates, I always keep one, and that's how I get all these other ones. So then I use these to trace around. And as you could see by my tag basket, I've always got plenty of templates to work from, and I have maybe 10, 12, maybe more different sizes now in my basket, all ranging from the very tall, from wide ones to narrow ones to shorter ones. So yeah, I just pick out whatever ones I want, and then I do usually trace them out like a lot to a page, and then multiple pages, because I make a lot of tags. I like making tags in bulk, and I therefore will just keep tracing and tracing and tracing. I'll just keep going and going and going, using up my manila folders. I usually buy my manila folders in bulk too, usually around 10 at a time, which gives me 20 sides, which then usually gives me around 10 tags, depending on the size, per sheet. So, I feel like it's very cost effective. Rather than buying tag templates, you can just make your own from manila folder. And yeah, it's quite relaxing. I don't always feel like making tags, but when I'm in the mood, I I just make tag after tag after tag. So let me see, what am I doing here? Let's put these ones away. My beautiful vintage French ones. So once I get to there, obviously all I do is, cut them out. So I'll just grab this edge first. And yeah, then I just grab all my sheets. If I have 10 of them, I'll just cut them out one after the other. And then I stack my little piles of tags in front of me. I pile them in their different sizes. And then from there, I'll just cut out one to show you. And then I make sure that I glue whatever I'm gluing on it on this side. So it doesn't matter that I've ruled it in blue pen, because this is the surface you're going to write on. This is the surface I'm going to cover and decorate. So cool. After I cut out all of my tags, I'll have my little piles everywhere. Then I use this Alma's glue stick or Bostik glue stick. I like using either the purple or the blue because I like to see where I have applied the glue. And for the sake of this demonstration, I'll just show you what I've been using for the French tags so far. I've been using this Vintage French dictionary, so I'll just rip out a page here. And I've also been using pages from this book, but I'm saving these pages to actually bind into signatures of journals. So, but I did use all the loose sheets for those tags that I've prepared. So basically then what I do, because they're quite small, these tags, I know I can fit 2 to a page. Here's my gluing tip. I use a colouring in book. That was old stock. You can see it was old, so I got this gifted to me, and I had another one I was given too, so I used one for Christmas journals last year. This one I just use as my glue book. Not like a glue book to journal in, but a glue book to not have the glue go everywhere and stick on everything. So all I do is apply the glue to the side that has the markings on it where I ruled the templates, traced around the templates. Apply the glue. You can see easily where I placed it. Thin layer of glue, and then I use the words, the lines of the words, to line up my tag so they're straight. Not that it matters, too much, especially if you love more rustic journals. And then I add that to my pile of tags. And then all I do is, I glue on this side of the surface, and I turn the page, glue on that surface, glue on that surface, glue on that, so you're not getting glue everywhere. So just a little tip, that's what I use. All right, so then let me grab these, and once I get to this stage of the process, it's cutting out the tags again. It's like you're cutting out the tags twice. So cutting them out. And again, I've got all different sizes. I did make the Vintage French tags a little bit smaller, just because I know how I want to use these. I want these ones to go into pockets. I've already got a whole bunch of other ephemera that I've paper clipping in that are larger, that don't fit into pockets. So I'm saving those to be paper clipped in. And then these ones will just be for slipping inside those pockets. Once I cut them all out, like I will spend a whole afternoon or night or whatever cutting these out while I listen to a podcast, for example, and then I will go ahead and find some little stickers. So I might put that one there, and I might put that one there, and they're just very simple. And then from there I ink them. So I use some Tim Holtz Distress ink, and let me just show you the whole process. Better do the whole start to finish process. I love using these little tweezers to help stick these on and place them like that. Very simple. Again, you could add collage. Sometimes I've added some coffee dyed doily, or even just white doily would look pretty on there, and collage, you know, some other book page, some vintage music paper in the background. You might want to add a little label sticker, but for me, I just love keeping it simple. That's just fine for me. And then I will ink the edges. I ink it before I sew it, because sometimes if the thread is like close to the edge, especially with the zigzag stitch, the ink doesn't penetrate through like the stitches. It will just be like every odd zigzag. It will ink the zig but not the zag. So then I just ink around the edges, give it that more vintage look to it. You definitely don't have to do this. I don't always ink my tags, but for my vintage French journals, I do want them inked. And then I will take them to my sewing machine and stitch all the way around them. So that is my process, sort of making a tag from start to finish. I hope that was helpful. I'm just switching over to voiceover here now, because this is part of the process where I just went ahead and had fun cutting out all of the tags. So in an upcoming video, for sure, I'll show you the tags that I made. I have almost finished the Vintage French series. They are now all embellished. All the tags are inside those 12 journals, and I've got some extra ones as well to be included as little freebies, because I always like including extras with my journals. But yeah, I have scanned a whole bunch of tags. I made even more after this video as well, some more collage ones. So I've got, I think, 4 or 5 different sets of vintage French tags that I have scanned as well. So I am turning those ones into some printable kits as well. So yeah, I'll come back later on, share with you the tags that I've made and the kits, and eventually one day I will show you the Vintage French journals. I believe 5 of them have now been bound, so there are 7 more to go to bind, and I do just want to add a few little extra bits and pieces to them as well. It was kind of funny because I usually bind my journals first and then add all my ephemera, but this time, yeah, because I just had so much I knew I already wanted to include, I ended up placing all of the ephemera inside before I bound them. So yeah, I've just got 7 more to bind, and then I just keep on making tags, keep making more, and finding places for them. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm looking at them right now. They're on my desk and on my shelf, and finding places where I can fit them anywhere, because they're taking up quite a lot of space. But I'm so excited for this project, and I will hope to share a bit of a work in progress video as well of those journals. So I've been filming along the way in little stages, and I've got a video showing the supplies that I'll be using, and showing the covers, all 12 covers as well. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, bit of a tutorial / info video about tags, and then just a little chatty session at the end. But yeah, I've got way more that I need to cut out, but I think I'll end it here. But if you do have any questions, feel free to chuck them down into the comments, and I really hope that you have fun making your own tags. I just love tags. I love that there's so many different ways to make them. I love that you can make them in any theme. I love that you can decorate them in whatever way you would like. I love that you can do different sizes and that you can find a place for them in journals and then use them in whatever way that you would like. So yeah, have fun making your own tags at home, and I will say goodbye to you now before I ramble on any longer, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. A big thank you to my beautiful patrons supporting me in February. I really hope you absolutely love it there. If you would like to become a patron, the link is down below in the description box, and my Patreon is where you get access to the start to finish journal making series each month, sneak peeks and first access to all of my creations, and depending on your tier level, printable kits, every single printable kit from my Etsy plus a new one each month. There are mail tiers and community tiers and all sorts of things. Check the description box down below also for links to my courses, for my journaling courses and creative courses, places to find me, and ways to contact me if you ever have any questions or video requests.